In this video, you will learn how to install a garage storage solution. You will need some basic tools, including a level, a power drill, and a Phillips head screwdriver. You will also need a circular saw equipped with an appropriate blade for cutting the PVC slat wall. Depending on whether or not your unit was configured to use a rear cleat, you may also need 2x2 lumber and long wood screws. A set of clamps will be helpful for attaching your countertop, and you may also need a cutting tool such as a Dremel. This video will mainly focus on aspects of garage systems that differ from our other storage solutions. Please consult our other videos for additional details regarding core assembly techniques. There are 3 methods for supporting the rear of your garage storage system. It's important that you are aware of how the rear of your particular job was designed to be supported. If a mud sill is present and was specified as the rear support method in the design, then the rear of your unit will rest on the sill and you will have appropriately sized feet to install in the front. Depending on the height of your sill, you may wish to install the feet on the unit prior to resting it on the sill. The second option is to locate your studs and install a 2x2 cleat onto the wall. This cleat is typically installed 8 inches off the ground, but consult your design schematic for confirmation. In this configuration, your unit will rest on the cleat just as it would on the mud sill, with feet installed to support the front of the unit. The third option is to install feet on both the front and rear of the unit, then level it using the feet adjustments, and finally anchor the unit to the wall, being sure to hit studs. Before you begin, start off by laying out all of your components and identify them by referencing the labels on each bundle and your design diagram. Since this garage will utilize a cleat for rear support, our installer is marking a level line 8 inches off the floor. He'll then attach the 2x2 cleat to the studs using 3-inch wood screws. If drywall is present, then use appropriately longer screws. Next, assemble the first section of your garage storage system. Panels are joined using dowel pins and cam locks. Insert pins into the holes that line up with the corresponding cam locks. Line up the panels and snap the pins into place. Then use a Phillips head screwdriver in the cam lock to secure it. If you choose to use a power drill with the cam locks, please be sure to use the lowest possible torque setting to avoid damaging the cams. Components of your garage system assemble in much the same manner as our floor-mounted closet systems, so for more detailed information about their assembly, please consult that video. If your system will utilize front and rear feet, you can attach them at this point. The next step is to position the unit against the wall. Take measurements and mark the location of the studs on the back panel of the unit. Then, pre-drill holes at each stud location. We recommend doing this both at the top and bottom so that the system is well secured to the wall. Double check that the unit is level and then fasten it to the studs using wood screws. Now you will assemble the next adjacent unit. Line up the unit with the adjacent one, and then fasten them together using 5/8" wood screws in the system holes. Once again, measure, mark, and pre-drill holes at the stud locations. Then fasten the unit to the studs using wood screws. Continue assembling and fastening your sections to the wall. Take special care to check your alignment and leveling throughout. When working with uneven walls or exposed studs, you may find that your unit might not line up perfectly level. In this case, you can back out your screws and apply shims as necessary. Remember that if you applied shims at any point, you will likely have to install them in adjacent points as well, so leave room when installing your screws for the shims to be applied. Confirm that the front edges of your panels align and then fasten them together using the 5/8" wood screws in the system holes. Then you can apply your shims as necessary and fasten the unit to the wall. Now our installer is going to install the feet. Tap the piston into the foot cylinder and then screw in the adjustment screw. Feet should be placed at the edges of your unit and where two partitions come together. To avoid any clearance issues with the cam locks, recess the feet about 2 inches from the front and rear of the unit. Fasten the feet in place using 4 5/8" wood screws in the flange holes. Use a wrench or pliers to expand the adjustment screw until the unit is sitting firmly in place. Feet should be placed so that they straddle adjoining sections, as shown. Once you have all of your feet and sections installed, it's time to measure the area for your slat wall. Then use a circular saw equipped with a PVC cutting blade to cut the slat wall down to the correct size. Please observe all safety precautions when operating power tools. Take a moment to note the proper orientation of the slat wall. Fasten the slat wall to the studs using wood screws in the grooves. If there are electrical outlets, switches, or other obstructions in the way of the slat wall, please measure carefully, mark, and cut the slat wall to accommodate for these openings. You can use a Dremel or other precision cutting tool to cut the appropriate holes in the slat wall material. Finally, you can install your countertop. Slide it into place and hold it securely using clamps. Then fasten the top in place using 1¼ inch wood screws. Depending on how your garage system was opted, you may have doors, sliding shelves, and other accessories. Please refer to our other videos for explanations on how to install these items.